Hi family, I hope you are doing well. This is Dr. Linda Vanutu and I'm coming your way once again with the Online Pregnancy School. If you are joining us for the first time, the Online Pregnancy School is a platform where we talk about the family. We talk about reproduction, pregnancy, delivery, childcare, and care for other members of the family. We have had a lot of sessions about pregnancy up to the time of delivery. And then we've also looked at time of birth. How do you check on your baby to make sure that this baby is well? Or even when you take the baby home, what do you have to do to ensure that this baby is actually in a healthy state? So that if you find anything wrong, you immediately take the child to the hospital. That is one thing I always say, that please, if you find something wrong, quickly take your child to the hospital or yourself. If you are not feeling well, please go to the hospital. If you haven't done that yet, also please copy that link and share with friends and family. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do that as well and turn on the notification bell so that you'll be informed when we have a new program coming up. We have been talking about the child for the past couple of weeks. We've been talking about the child and I'm going to continue with that discussion. Today, I'm going to look at birth injuries, and I'm starting with the Erb's palsy, which is a condition that can occur at birth. Now, I'm sure we are all aware, we've heard about what we call nerves, and we have nerves all over the body. And people know about the spinal cord, they know about the nervous system, but I'm going to talk about this particular one, which is called the brachial nerves. And these nerves actually are in the armpit. They go on to supply the shoulder and the arms. So in a child who has an injury to that particular group of nerves, what happens to this child? And this is a condition which I'm going to discuss today called the Erb's palsy. Now, it occurs when there's an injury at the time of birth to these nerves. And this can occur during a difficult delivery. A difficult delivery means that this is a woman who is delivering, but the baby is not coming out simply. There's something wrong. And this mother is in labor trying to push this baby out. The baby is not coming out. And one of the things that can happen is that this baby's shoulder can get stuck. Instead of it coming out, it will get stuck, what we call the shoulder dystocia. And when the midwife or whoever is conducting the delivery tries to pull this baby out, then that injury can occur. And this can also occur because of how the baby was positioned inside the womb. So it's generally about at the time of birth that you have a difficult delivery and there's this pressure on this nerve and it's injured, and that can happen. But we should also be aware that can happen in adults, especially when they have had a trauma. Maybe you are involved in an accident or something happens to you that affects the nerves. Then of course you can have that. Now, palsy refers to the loss of function or paralysis or weakness. So this is about this child having weakness on the side of the injury. And we'll discuss how it looks like. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have just joined us today, I'm talking about what we call the Erb's palsy. It is one of the birth injuries that can occur in a baby. Now, the child has a very peculiar position of the arm. So you find that the whole arm will be hanging limply by the side, and the shoulder is turned in like that, and the arm is also turned inside, and the wrist is flexed or moved up, and then you have the hand showing backwards, and they describe it as the Porter's tape. So if you go somewhere, you want to give somebody a tape or the waiter's tape, That is how they take it from the back. I don't know whether that is that still happens, but that is how it has been described. So you find that this is what happens. Now it affects the shoulder, the elbow, and the arms. I told you that this is about nerve injury, the nerve that is supplying the shoulder and the arm. So if it is injured, if there's any injury at time of birth, then it can affect that. The child's arm will be lying limply, whilst the other one is being raised up. This one is just lying down without being lifted up. And it is because of the injury which will affect the movement of that particular arm. Now, in terms of diagnosis, it can be diagnosed physically. So when the baby is born, during the time of examination, you find that this baby's arm is lying by the side limply and also has that typical position that we saw. So that is something that will let the person examining this baby know that this child might have had a birth injury that is affecting the way the child is lifting the arm. So if you go home with a baby and you find that this baby is not able to move the arm, it could be that the child has what we call the Erb's palsy. Please do not just take it that, oh, the child is just lifting one arm and not lifting the other. So maybe with some days it will be okay. No, please don't take it like that. The other way of doing a diagnosis is to do a check. So they use some machines to check to see whether there's any injury to the nerve and how extensive that is and all that. So that is done to confirm that, yes, this is Erb's palsy that we are talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have just joined me, today I'm talking about Erb's palsy, which is one of the birth injuries that can be seen after a difficult delivery. You know that normally babies come with their head, but sometimes we have the baby lying in another position, maybe coming with the buttock. And if it happens that the delivery is going on, but it gets to the neck and the head is stuck, that can be a problem for the person conducting the delivery. But also, if the shoulder is stuck, that could also be a problem, and that can lead to the Erb's palsy that we are talking about. Can this be prevented? Well, if a baby is very big, of course, the baby's delivery may be difficult. And if the mother is also very big, she puts in a lot of weight during delivery, during pregnancy. Remember that we have spoken about weight gain. How much weight can a woman gain during pregnancy? So if you go to the hospital, they check your weight and they find that you are putting on too much weight, which may lead to your baby also becoming very big. Then, of course, they will help you to manage the weight so that you don't have this very big baby, which will lead to difficult delivery and can lead to Erb's palsy. So it's very, very important that please you adhere to everything that you are told at the antenatal. If you are not sure of something or you don't think that that will be helpful, please discuss it with your midwife or with a doctor who is seeing you during your pregnancy. The other way to prevent this is to be delivered by somebody who has been trained, so that even if the baby is coming with a buttock, this person knows how to conduct the delivery. So we don't get the shoulder stuck somewhere and then now they have to find a way of doing it, or the midwife will try to pull this baby out, which will lead to the injury. Another thing that can be controlled to help prevent this is diabetes. So if you have diabetes before you became pregnant, or you developed diabetes whilst you were pregnant, what we call the gestational diabetes, then that would also be managed in a way to prevent you from putting on too much weight, and this will affect the baby. Because usually, mothers who are diabetic during pregnancy can have very big babies. And the more reason why you have to attend antenatal and also deliver with a skilled person. If it is found that the baby is too big and delivering it per vaginum would be a problem for you, then of course a cesarean section would be conducted. I know that some of us are afraid of cesarean section, but please take it from me that it is done for specific reasons. And therefore, if you have to undergo cesarean section, it is because that is the best for you and also for your baby. Wouldn't you love to have that done instead of having a birth injury? There are other injuries that can occur in addition to the Erb's palsy. So please do that. And if it happens that your baby is lying either across or with a buttock, then of course going to the hospital to deliver will be the best option for you, so that a skilled attendant will see you and the delivery will be optimal. I hope you will do that. Please, if you haven't done that yet, just copy the link and share with others so that they will join us in this discussion. Now, the treatment for Erb's palsy depends on the extent of the damage to the nerves. Some of them resolve by themselves. Maybe some people have had children or babies who had that, and they were told that just go home and be watching and it will resolve by itself. So it has been possible for other people to go home and they have had this resolved on its own. Now, for other instances, the parents are asked to take the babies for exercises or physical therapy. So that is also done. In some instances, they even do what they call the water therapy, so that there's some way of doing it in such a way that the arms become active. And this is to help to heal instead of letting the arm just lie limply by the baby's side. It is very important that you start treatment early. So if this was not diagnosed before you went home, but at home you found that the baby is not lifting one arm, please take that baby to the hospital as fast as you can so that it can be looked at, and if this is diagnosed, then it is done. In some instances where the injury is very extensive, then there could be surgery done. And babies have undergone surgery when they were big grown. They go through surgery and they have had this corrected. So it is possible to have it resolved by itself or with the help of exercises and physical therapy or with some form of surgery. But this will be done after the examination. I told you that it can be examined physically, and there could also be some machines that can be used to do the diagnosis. So if they examine and they find that the damage is very severe and therefore there's the need for surgery to be done, then it will be done. And there have been cases where surgery has been done and these babies have been well. So that is one thing that we can be happy about, that it is possible. Now, some people might want to know, will this be something that will stay with my child, or it can go off, or can it kill this baby? The good news is that it is not something that will kill the baby. That is one thing we have to be happy about, that it doesn't kill the baby. But if treatment is not started early, or if the treatment is started early, you are asked to go for the physical therapy, but you do not adhere to the times that are given to you, then what can happen is that this baby's, especially the elbow, can be stiff, because remember that it is lying limply, and the elbow should be able to flex. You should be able to bring the elbow to your side, to the chest, or to the side, or even to the back. But if you don't adhere to the treatment, then it can become stiff, so that you have the arm stiff and this child cannot bend the arm. That is not what we want. So please, 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 if you have a child born with Erb's palsy, you go home, you find it, you go back to the hospital, whatever they tell you, please adhere to that. I know that for some people it might be a challenge in terms of going every time to the hospital for the physical therapy or for the exercises. So the good news is that they can teach you, the mother and the father. There are exercises that they can teach you to do for your baby whilst you are at home. And in fact, even if you go to the hospital and you're able to go and they do it for you, ask how often you can do it at home, because that will help this child to heal faster. Ladies and gentlemen, today I spoke to you about one of the common birth injuries that you can see, and that is the Erb's palsy. It is as a result of a difficult delivery where the shoulder is stuck, or breech delivery where the baby's neck is pushed to the side so far because they are trying. You see, the whole thing is that the midwife is trying to get this baby out. It is not that they want to harm the baby. No, they are trying to get this baby out. And that's why we call it a difficult delivery, because it's not that simple in terms of getting this baby out. But the good news is that it is not fatal. It will not kill this baby, but treatment is needed for the child to be able to use the arm properly, and it must start early, and you should also adhere to treatment. I hope you have enjoyed today's session. If you have any comments, please share with us in the comment section, and also share with friends and family. We want babies to be healthy. We want them to grow and develop well. So anything that is preventable, we want to do that, including preventing the baby's elbow from becoming stiff. Once again, my name is Dr. Linda Vanutu, and this is the Online Pregnancy School. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.